Written on 70.
الشقيق للشباب.
We're going to start the program.
Fewer than 1 in 1,000 Nepalis owned a telephone back in 1970. Today, more than 2/3 of Nepalis own mobile phones. Yet, Nepal remains one of the poorest and slowest growing economies in Asia, with our per capita income rapidly falling behind our peers. A national award to a farmer or an agri-entrepreneur who is able to successfully adopt technology, innovation or initiatives that others can replicate to improve productivity. This award has been aptly named Krishi Award and carries a purse of 500,000. I hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you.
सबै किस्ता तिरिसकेपछि मलाई अवसर फाउन्डेसन भन्ने संस्थाबाट
यहाँ विशेष कार्यक्रममा बोलाउनु भएको थियो। त्यो गोठामा गयो। अवस्था सत्ताबाट 6,800 डेढ खाता गर्नुभयो। अरू सत्ताबाट त पाइएको नि त्यो सत्ताबाट पाइयो। त्यही कोसिला आए भित्र पाएको ब्याजबाट म पाखा सकेर 5 लाख बुङ्गुर पाएको दिएको छ।
I have been given the opportunity to speak a few words. The important thing is that we have a long relationship with Israel government for the last 60 years, especially for the upliftment of the rural poor farmers. This program, this Lord program has been very much effective and successful in terms of creating human capital in Nepal. I say formation of human capital because giving finance or fund is not so important than creating human capital. They are supporting Israel government, Israeli embassy is supporting to Nepal in creation of human capital. In terms of forming disciplined people. When Nepali people, smallholder farmers, young boys and girls go to Israel, stay there for 11 months, they are supposed to be very much disciplined in terms of time management, in terms of hard work. So, on the one hand, they learn about discipline. On the other hand, they acquire knowledge, especially in agriculture sector. And after coming back from Israel, more than 40%, we estimate that more than 40% these youth people are engaged in commercial agriculture and livestock. And this has really contributed to the transformation of agriculture and rural economy of Nepal. The problem we are facing is gaps between haves and have-nots. The problem we are facing is that young people are going to, foreign countries, especially in Gulf countries, to make some money. Without skill, they are going. And we all know that every day some 4 or 5 dead bodies do come here in Nepal. This is, very, very alarming situation. But with the support of Israel government, what we are doing is that we are sending youth to Israel. They earn something, they learn something. In terms of remittance, what we estimate is that from 2013 till date, more than 2 billion Nepali rupees these people have brought in remittance. This is good amount. And apart from that, they have gained some skill, knowledge, and they are doing agriculture. You can see the stall, some Nepali young boys, these small farmers, have put their production here in stall. This is really very, I think, big achievement for us. And they have started doing collective farming. If you go to Duradada of Lomthum, more than 80 Israel returning students have started collective farming, and they are doing wonderful, commercial agriculture. So we are very much obliged. We are very much thankful to Israel government and Israel embassy that has supported us continuously for the last 6-7 years. So far, we have sent around 3,200 youth in Israel, and of them, 2,700 have already come back, and they are doing commercial agriculture and livestock. So, saying this, I wish this Learn and program should long live this Learn and program, long live Nepal-Israel relationship. Thank you very much.
I also unfailingly attend their graduation ceremonies. During my interaction, I have found that many Nepali agriculture students are happy with their training course. Few have some concerns, but those concerns can be addressed with joint effort of Nepal and Israeli side. And it's a great initiative of Embassy of Israel in Kathmandu to organize this award to honor, celebrate and acknowledge the success of the returning students of the Learn and Earn program. As Nepal is an agrarian country with more than 65% of population involved in agriculture, transformation of agriculture is not just desirable but a must for us. We have so much to learn from Israel, where less than 3% of workforce are involved in agriculture sector. Israel produces 95% of its own food requirements. Let me reiterate here that Israeli farmers have adverse conditions to work with, and their agriculture success lies in the development of sophisticated methods in all agricultural branches, as well as technological advancement, new irrigation techniques, and innovative approach. I am really thankful toward Israeli government and Moshe for the cooperation they have extended to Nepal to train next generation of farmers. Israel has proven that the most important resources a country can have is its people. It's the journalism of Israeli people that have taken Israel to the current status of being one of the most developed nations in the region, a nation depending on its people. Israel government is attempting their similar replication in Nepal as well. As an ambassador, I have set few issues on my top most priority, and establishing agriculture center of excellence in Nepal is one of them. I believe transformation of Nepali agriculture is possible through establishment of agriculture center of excellence. We initially had few hurdles to overcome, but after consistent negotiations and consultations with Israeli officials, and despite Israel currently going through a political deadlock, with a caretaker government at the helm, with the joint effort of Mr. Yuval Rothem, Director General of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Israel, Mr. Gilad Cohen, Deputy Director of Asia Pacific Division, and Ambassador Gil Haskell, His Excellency Gil Haskell, Head of Moshe. A special budget has been issued for a visit of Head of Moshe, Mr. Gil Haskell, to Nepal, and he is arriving in Nepal soon on this 8th December. I take it as a fruition of hard work of my embassy, Nepal embassy and Israeli embassy in Kathmandu. I do hope Ambassador Gill's visit would be fruitful and we would move closer to establishing Agriculture Center of Excellence in Nepal. And I would like to thank His Excellency Gilad Cohen because he promised me that he will send head of Mossad to do survey, to establish Agriculture Center of Excellence. And we organized in our National Day program in front of so many people. He promised me. And the day before, 2 days before when I met him, he told me that, look, Nepali ambassador, because of you, I found this budget, even we are having so much problem in our government, and they have already been accomplished their second round of election. And even though they couldn't form their government, so that they have lack of budget, even though within their Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that he said that he promised Nepali ambassador and to bring Gil Haskel to establish Agriculture Center of Excellence. So His Excellency Gil Haskel, head of Mossad, which is International Development Cooperation. It's like JICA, COICA and USAID. Now he's coming to do survey, to establish, and it brings a lot of change in Nepali people, and we will be increased. We will be, I think that we will reach the objective of our Prime Minister's dream, prosperity and happy people. I hope we will see increased cooperation between Nepal and Israel, as next year we are making 60th year of establishment of diplomatic relations between Nepal and Israel. Lastly, I would like to thank Ambassador Benny and Tal Shaberstman, Deputy Chief of Mission of Embassy of Israel, who have been working closely with me. I want to congratulate Embassy of Israel for the wonderful initiative they have taken with this award.
First of this kind, Krishi Tara Award 2019 as a member of jury. I really like to thank you. Thanks to Ambassador and Israel Embassy for selecting me as a member of this jury. There were lots of youth living in Israel in the Learn and Art program through the Sana Kisan Vikas Bank and Israel Embassy program. Among a few criteria, I would like to present yourself. One of the criteria is use of technology, skill and innovations that learned in Israel during Learn and Earn program. This is one of the criteria. And creating job, income and market linkage and value chain development. Model and applicability of their farm and product. Engage with local community, cooperative and members in the cooperatives, and the change they bring to their society. These are the 5 criteria that was selected, and based on this criteria, the jury committee had went all their documents, photographs, videos, and whatever the applicants had provided. And based on this, and the verification was made through different means, and for all these, the weightage was 90% of the weightage for this, and among them, 8 finalists selected bring and ask them to present or demonstrate some their company or their presence, and that was given 10 marks while they were presented here in their respective area, which was 90 marks. And based on this, the selection committee has decided to the winner, and this was the criteria, and finally the selection was made accordingly. So this was the criteria and this was the development, and once again, on behalf of jury committee, I would like to thank you for organizing, thank you for who provided this award, and all the distinguished guests who participated, and really all the farmers, all the youth who went to Israel for learning and earning and did excellent job to their home cooperatives and place, and they really learned. And of course, selected will be one as per the rule, but all of others did an excellent job, and would like to encourage them to continue to change their society through what they learn and change the agricultural development of this country. And I hope this program will continue in the future, so that will create the motivation and that will help to change the agriculture of Nepal, which is still being a subsistence farming to the modernization, learning from Israel, which, as already mentioned, our ambassador, only 2 to 3% of the people who engage in agriculture, but the country has developed export to all part of the world, and we in Nepal still, we are over 60% of the people who still are engaged in agriculture, but still we are importing agriculture product. Very little we know what is the price of onion today, 250 rupees kilo, and hopefully in the next time other farmers on the Israeli technique will also go for this, and definitely we'll have plenty of product and we'll sell in the market. And in this way, thank you for giving me opportunity.
यहाँले इजरायलमा रहनुहुने संयुक्त एउटा चाहिँ साझा संस्था हो, जुनमा लगानी भएको चाहिँ कम्पनी हो भने अहिले हामी त्यो सङ्ख्या 116 जनामा पुगेका छौँ।
एक थुकी सुकी 100 थुकी नदी भन्ने उखान यो कम्पनीमा दुरुस्तै लागू भएको छ। कुखुरा पालन, गाई पालन, तरकारी खेती, डेरी उद्योगको जिम्मा फरक फरक व्यक्तिले सम्हालेका छन्।
त्यसपछि गाई पनि फर्महरू त थिएन, उहाँको अब परम्परागत रूपमा पालिरहनु भएको गाई भैँसीहरू, अब उहाँले त्यसलाई अलिकति परिमार्जित गर्दै त्यसलाई अलिकति आधुनिक तरिकाले गाई अथवा भैँसी पाल्ने हो कि तरकारी खेती अलिकति आधुनिक तरिकाले गर्ने हो कि भनेर यो गाई फर्म सञ्चालन गर्ने उद्देश्यका साथ अब त्यहाँको चितवनको पढाइको सकेर म चाहिँ सुर्खेत आफ्नै घर फर्केर चाहिँ यो व्यवसायमा 2080 सालदेखि लाग्दै आएको छु।
साना किसान प्रशिक्षणार्थी कार्यक्रममा सहभागी हुन सन् 2013मा इजरायल पुगेपछि न्यौपानेको व्यावसायिक कृषिको सोच फराकिलो भयो।
म जब इजरायल पुगेँ त्यसपछि त्यहाँ नगरमा खेती गरेको देखेपछि असम्भव भन्ने चिज केही पनि रहन्छ भन्ने कुरा मलाई थाहा भयो। अनि त्यसपछि अब नेपालमा गएर पनि मैले कृषिमा केही गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने उद्देश्यका साथ घरमा भाइलाई फोन गरेर यहाँ भएको फसल बेच्न लगाएर अब नेपालमा आएर कृषिमा केही परिवर्तन गर्ने र क्रान्ति गर्ने भन्ने एउटा सोच भएर चाहिँ मैले यहाँ काम सुरु गरेँ।
के टनेल भन्ने हो भने 11 वटा छ, 3 रोपनी कान्छीमा चाहिँ मैले टनेल बनाएको छु। अनि मेरो खुल्लामा चाहिँ लगभग तपाईँको 8 मिटर हुँदैछ। अनि अहिले चाहिँ मेरो टनेलमा चाहिँ मैले 4 वटा टनेलमा चाहिँ भेरी खोर्सानी लगाएको छु भने मेरो अर्को 7 वटा टनेलमा चाहिँ मैले गोलभेडा लगाएको छु। पोहोरसम्म चाहिँ कहीँबाट थिएन, सबै आफ्नै लगाएको हो। अनि यसपालि चाहिँ जिल्ला कृषिको यो थोपा सिँचाइ प्रोग्राम रहेछ, अनि त्यताबाट पनि आर्थिक सहकारिता प्राप्त भएको छ। अनि हाम्रो चाहिँ यो बजरबाराईलाई चाहिँ नमुना कृषि गाउँ बनाउने भन्ने उद्देश्यले एउटा प्रोग्राम जिल्ला कृषिको सहकारीमा हामीले गरिरहेका छौँ।
नमस्कार, म राजेन्द्र विदाल, यो भैगुन हिमालय एग्रिकल्चर अर्ग्यानिक पार्टीको सञ्चालक।
नमस्कार, मेरो नाम प्रकाश रमण अधिकारी, मेरो घर गण्डकी प्रदेश कास्की जिल्ला पोखरा महानगरपालिका वडा नम्बर 28। म ट्रेनिङ गर्दै गर्दाखेरि
I now have the pleasure of inviting His Excellency Mr. Daniel.
Thanks mainly to Family Ketan, who contributed through APSA Foundation. We came with this idea, they were the initiative, and we are thankful to them. And I hope that will become a tradition for the next years to come. I should say that if we are sitting here this evening together, it should be mainly to a visionary leader of this wonderful country of yours and great nation of Nepal. Some 60 years ago, Bibi Koirala, who was Prime Minister of Nepal, had the vision and the courage to recognize the State of Israel. And we in Israel do not forget it. because at the context of the time, we should bear in mind that at the time, the strong guy in Delhi was Mr. Nehru. And Mr. Nehru didn't appreciate this initiative of a small country, Nepal. But thanks to this great man, we are here this evening. And that was on the 1st of June, 1960, when we established our relationship. Very soon afterwards, in August, he visited Israel and met our Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, another visionary leader to whom we owe the establishment of the independence of the State of Israel. So these two guys met, one taller than the other. So I let you imagine who was the taller guy and who was the shorter one, but great visions of both of them. I can share with you that during the selection program that we had, we were visiting more than 40 of these nice boys and girls. We didn't see any girl among them, but there were some girls. When we had the chance to visit some of the cooperatives of the returnees, you know that by now we have about 2,700 who came back from Israel after this 11-month program. When you see the results, you visit these cooperatives, you see how efficient they are, and what a big change in the life this 11-month period made for them and for the family, and sometimes for the village and the surrounding and the neighbors. The effect is amazing, and we are so happy to have Sana Kisan Vikas Bank as our partner for the last 6 years, and I hope for many more years to come. And I hope that within a few years, 5 or 10 years, we may not be here, but we will see the effect on the agriculture sector of Nepal by introduction of new technologies, by modernization of the agriculture sector. If today between 60 and 65% of the workforce are busy in agriculture, can we wish that within 5-10 years that will reduce to 50%, maybe less? And we hope that our program, Learn and Earn, will contribute to this improvement. And those who will leave the agriculture will find other jobs, not less efficient, and will contribute to the national economy. It is possible, it is done. For that, we need this cooperation. I wish we could increase the number. Instead of 500 every year, we could have 600, maybe 1,000, and then the effect will be even much better felt on the ground. And when I tell my friends in Nepal, you know, we don't have to invent the wheel. The wheel is already invented. We just have to use it properly. So innovation in agriculture exists in Israel. We are not the only country, but we are among some of the best countries in agriculture. And it is there. Please, we are ready to share it with you. Come and enjoy this cooperation between us and see what you can do better once you're back at home. It is possible, it is done. And you have wonderful young people, very talented, devoted, hardworking, and the feedback we get from the Israeli farmers, they say, can you send next year, can you send more? Can you send more young people from Nepal, because they are wonderful partners. They learn, they are open-minded, they are ready to wake up early morning to work very hard, and when they come back, they have this wonderful experience, a lot of hands-on experience, not only theoretical, because they work 5 days a week. On Friday, they get lectures from the members of the Faculty of Agriculture in Israel, of Jerusalem University in Rehovot, and Saturday, you see this common point we have, you don't work on Saturday, we don't work on Saturday, we call Saturday Shabbat, so we don't work on Saturday. And Saturday, we take them around to see the country. You know, it's a small country, Israel, only 21,000 square kilometers. You can have 7 times Israel in one Nepal. But look how much we can do together. So today we are talking about agriculture, but we can do many other wonderful things together in other fields. If it is like Ambassador Shakia mentioned, in the field of education, medical care, empowering of women, for example. This is a very important issue, women empowerment, to make an important contribution to the development of this country economy. And I had the pleasure with Dr. Vishnu to have this selection progress, and we saw wonderful boys and girls doing great things when they are back home. And this inspiration, when they go, they see that it works in another country with difficult conditions. You know that more than 60% of the land of Israel is a desert. But we have a proof that you can make agriculture in the desert that we all share. Were invented in Israel. These tomatoes are sweet and they are irrigated with water, which is not, brackish water, you cannot drink. And when we had a problem of water in Israel, which, our national reservoir of water is the Lake of Tiberias, the Sea of Galilee. But that depends on water coming from two neighbors, Lebanon on one hand, Syria on the other. So when they let less water coming, though, we are having less water in this lake. So then you have two options. Either you have a war with your neighbor to force him to give you the water you deserve, or you find another peaceful solution, which we chose. So we went to the Mediterranean Sea, and we are desalinating water. And today, since the last 15, 20 years, Israel is no more a thirsty country. We have plenty of water, as much as we need. The question is the price. And if it used to be 20 years ago, $1.7 for 1 cubic meter, today it's around 35 cents. So it's getting cheaper. It's something that you can do and you can share with your neighbors. And this technology existed many years before, but we used it only when really the situation became crucial and really problematic. So there are solutions. It depends on the will, on innovation, on technology, and we are here happy to share it with you guys. Please come more. And if you are inviting us next year, visit Nepal 2020, let us invite you to visit Israel whenever you want. You are welcome. I would like to thank some of the partners that we had. First, I just mentioned family Ketan, but it's important to mention also my deputy, Tal Schwarzman, the DCM, the staff of the embassy, Keshav, Samjanaji, Reshma, and many others. And really, thank you so much, and I thank especially the Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, who is here with us, and he himself had been to Israel in a course of Mashav, our agency for cooperation. He's one of the alumni of Mashav. We are proud of it. And you find them everywhere in the bureaucracy, in the level. We have some graduates of Mashav who became ministers, prime ministers. I think there is a president in Latin America. A colleague of mine from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is here with us. He came for trekking. He's not on an official visit. He's been here 30 years ago on the first time. Now he came with his son. So you see how much Israelis love Nepal. And Ilan also was my boss when I was in the ministry, working in Mashal. So I owe him a lot. Thank you all for coming. So many of you came this evening to share this wonderful time with us. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see this event becoming a tradition. And we have Afsar ready for doing it next year again. And this is the first time, but I hope it will be a good lesson for us for the future. And more of you will come next year. Thank you all. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dipendra Karki, congratulations. And Honorable Commissioner Sabbatai. Mr. Krishi Prasad Bhangal.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I would like to extend our sincere thanks and gratitude to the Israel government through the Israel Embassy in Kathmandu, Nepal, and Khetan family for hosting this important program at this outset. And also would like to extend the congratulations to all the Krishi Tara Award winners for their outstanding achievements in different disciplines in the agricultural fields for their rewarding works after their return from Israel to Nepal. As a take-home message to our country, Nepal, they have contributed a lot in the economic prosperity of Nepal through their hardship in the agricultural field. In fact, as our Excellency Ambassador Ben Omar already mentioned, Israel and the Nepal government has very long and historical relationships in many aspects. And of course, agriculture is one of the important sectors. And in this sector, Israel has contributed through Masad course to different categories of people from Nepal, not only farmers, not only academicians and students, also the professionals sometimes in various fields. And still I could remember that was the year 1999, and I was also the alumni of Masad. I was in the Ben Gurion University in Sedebokir. By engaging its less than 5% people in these sectors, it has done very remarkable progress and very, very successful achievements in the agriculture sector, because it could feed up its population all the requirements in the agriculture. Actually, Israel has done a lot of progress, mainly through the implementation of the improved technologies and overriding all the adversities is created by the desert, soil, water, and the climate. Actually, they are not that conducive. However, with the judicious use, wise use, and very careful use of those invented technologies, it has done remarkable progress. But in contrast to Israel, actually in our country, everything is very favorable. We have land, we have labor, we have water, we have very wonderful, sunshine. Everything is very favorable. And nearly still more than 65% people we are engaging in these sectors. But why we have not been achieving such progress is the only message that I brought in Nepal is a take-home message out of my training at that time, and still I could hear from all the returnees from Israel to Nepal is not because of the judicious use of the invented technology that would fit to enhance the production, productivity, profitability, value chain, commercialization, marketing, and these things are there. And actually, why our production and the productivity is less in many agricultural commodities, including livestock, fruits, vegetables, cereal crops, is mainly because of the not proper use and wise use of the technology is one thing. However, at the same time, we have a lot of associated problems to enhance the agricultural production and the productivity. Land is number one factor, because in our system, the individual owns the land. He or she has the right whether to leave the land, or land is fallow or barren or something, because as per their choice. And we have not been adopted the cooperative farming, the community farming, the kibbutz system in Israel that I could cite everywhere that example. Actually, that is a kind of communal system of farming, very popular elsewhere in the world. I could see there, I saw many of the professionals and the higher government officials, actually, they have associated in kibbutz system along with the farmers, and they contribute. That is a common farming system, and the contribution is also common. But in our system, everything, the small holding agriculture and subsistence type of agriculture is one of the biggest limitation to transform it into commercial scale, to transform it into industrialization and diversify the product. These are some of the hiccups. These are some of the associated factors in Nepal. So all the Krishi Tara Award, the alumni, all the trainees, actually they were sent through the small farmer development cooperatives as well as with the help of Khetan family. This initiative is very, very important, and this initiative is one of the model initiative for translating and replicating that messages, Israel messages in Nepal. I think this will bring some change that we have a little hope, and in the future, government of Nepal through the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development will be very, very much supportive in this initiative. What I could see, some of the lacunas on the Israeli returnee youths is actually they have returned with a lot of courage. They have earned some money as well. They have learned some technologies, but they have some limitations about how to run, how to prepare the business plan in agriculture. Actually, the good thing is that they have come with very good courage, but we have not been able to satisfy their interest to the fullest level to prepare the business plan and to run their agriculture entrepreneurship as per the business plan. These are some of the still gaps that I could see. So my sincere request to all the Israeli returnee youth is, please do not hesitate to contact with technical offices that in the new governance system. These offices are existing in the local level, in the province level. Also we are in the federal level, and we have Nepal Research Council, we have some training institutions. They could help how to prepare the business plan. So if you run your agricultural enterprise based on the business plan, I think you do not have to demotivate it. You do not have to leave your enterprise. In the meantime, you will be continuing and you will be one of the successful. So in this regard, actually I would like to express our sincere commitments to support to the level possible. And it is also very nice to hear that our ambassador, Dr. Anjan Sakya, Nepali ambassador to Israel, after her resumption of the duty in Israel, actually she has initiated a lot of efforts in various sectors, and she has been in regular contact with the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development also to communicate the Israeli message, to onboard the higher level officials here in Nepal. She already highlighted, and we would like to welcome those teams, those delegates, and we will be presenting our the situation, agriculture situation of Nepal. And actually we are very much hopeful that we could do some new projects in the new collaboration. So in this regard, I would like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. Anjan also for her wonderful initiatives. And with after actually looking some of the clips in Krishi Tara Award videos, the embassy, the support through the Masab course, actually I would like to express our interest to continue these initiatives with the Khetan family to onboard and to engage more people in the years to come. And I think while selecting those peoples, already our ambassador mentioned that there are little bit, low number of female members. So if possible, the female members, if we could include more in this, selection process, that will also be very good, because we have also seen here, as compared to male members, the female members, they contribute, remarkably as compared to male member, and the continuation, the sustainability of the continuation of the enterprises will also be very higher in case of female members. So it is also an interest to include more, if so far possible, to more female members. And here we have some media friends also. I think in Nepal, many people express their dissatisfaction. Agriculture has done nothing. In fact, it is not true. If you compare the population of last 30 or 40 years back of Nepal, it was nearly 10 million, now 30 million. It has threefold large number. The land has been shrinking. You can see the real estate everywhere. The cement has been paved, and people, the fallow land is there. But have you seen any Nepali is dying out of hunger? No. Government of Nepal has approved its bill, the food security and the food sovereignty bill in Nepal. Government will be responsible for dying of any Nepalese people because of the hunger. And for the first time, as a representative of the government of Nepal, I should go to the jail from the ministry side. And actually, how it was possible? It was possible because of the application of high-yielding varieties, use of high-yielding breeds, and also technologies. Nepal Agricultural Research Council, our scientists, they have done as per to the fullest level possible as per their capacity. Because the rice production and the productivity, if you see the productivity of rice 30 years back, it was nearly 1.5. Now it has been doubled. And it was possible because of the improvement of high-yielding varieties. It was also possible because of the transformation of animal power and the human power into the farm powers and the machinery power. So we are trying our best. So I sincerely request to all media friends, you have done your wonderful job, because media is our third important stakeholder to communicate, to extend the agriculture progress in Nepal. And we kindly request to upscale, outscale, and still extend these messages as done with the Israeli government and as done in the initiatives of between two nations. So with these few words, once again, I would like to express my happiness and gratitude to Israeli embassy and Israel government through Israel embassy and the Khetan family, and wish for the continued success and the continuation of this kind of initiatives in the future. And I would like to express our commitments on behalf of the government that we will be supportive to onboard those peoples and also to host after they return from Israel, and to support to the level possible. In the government of Nepal system also, actually we have some subsidy program. We have also some support program. Please come forward with us. We have initiated some policy level conducive environment through policy. We have agricultural development strategy, agricultural perspective plan, and we have other policies. They also support to the youths who return from abroad. So in this regard, also please do not hesitate to come us and we will be supporting in other aspects. With these few words, once again, I congratulate all of you and close my few remarks. Thank you.
धेरै नर्भस हुने रहेछ क्या, धेरै जिम्मेवारी थपिए जस्तो पनि लागिरहेछ, तर केही छैन। कृषि तारा अवार्ड 2019 का सभापति महोदय, यस कार्यक्रमका सभापति महोदय, मुख्य अतिथिज्यूहरू, धेरै ठाउँबाट पर्नुभएका अतिथिज्यूहरू, आधाभन्दा अगाडिको मेरो स्टेज थियो र त्योभन्दा पछिको अहिलेको जुन अवस्था आइपुगेको छु म, धेरै आफूलाई जिम्मेवारी थपिएको भान लिएको छु मैले। सुर्खेत कर्णाली प्रदेशको राजधानी भए तापनि धेरै दुर्गम छ। हामीले धेरै कामहरू गरिरहेका थियौँ। विक्रमसम्म 2068 सालबाट मेरो भिडियो क्लिप पनि हेर्नुभयो अघि। गाईपालन व्यवसायमा संलग्न भएको किसान सन् 2015-16मा इजरायलमा 3 महिना तरकारी फर्ममा र 9 महिना त्यहाँको सोभाल किबुच भन्ने ठाउँमा गाई फर्म छ र त्यो गाई फर्ममा काम गर्ने अवसर, मौका सबै कुरा जुटाइदिनु भएकोमा साना किसान विकास बैंक, इजरायली एम्बेसी सबैमा मोटी धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। यस कृषि तारा अवार्ड प्राप्त हुनुको मेन आफूलाई मैले एकदम गर्व अवसर लिइरहेको छु। गाईपालन व्यवसाय 68 सालबाट सुरु छ भने तरकारी व्यवसाय सन् 2017बाट इजरायल रिटेलबाट आएर गरेको छु। मैले नयाँ काम के गरेको छु भन्दा सुर्खेत जिल्लामा ब्लिक नाउ भन्ने एउटा फाउन्डेसन छ जो अमेरिकन सरकारबाट सञ्चालित हो। त्यसले कोपिला भ्याली स्कुल भनेर एउटा अनाथ बालबालिका मध्य तथा सुदूरपश्चिमाञ्चल विकास क्षेत्रका 950 जना अनाथ बालबालिकाहरूलाई आश्रय दिएर निःशुल्क शिक्षा, निःशुल्क पोषणयुक्त खाना, सबै कुरा निःशुल्क, ड्रेस निःशुल्क, बस फी निःशुल्क, सबै कुरा निःशुल्क गरेर 950 जना विद्यार्थीलाई पालेको छ त्यो संस्थाले। त्यो संस्थामा काम गर्ने सुवर्ण अवसर हाम्रो साना किसान कृषि सहकारी संस्था वीरेन्द्रनगर 9 लाटीकोइलीले पाएको छ। विगत 2 वर्षदेखि हामीले त्यो संस्थासँग मिलेर खाद्यान्न, पोषणयुक्त खाद्यकुराहरू जो अर्ग्यानिक छ, सबै कुरा अर्ग्यानिक हाम्रो सहकारीले जिम्मा पाएको छ। हामीले उत्पादन गरेको खानाहरू त्यो संस्थाका 950 जना विद्यार्थीहरूले उपभोग गरिरहनु भएको छ। यसरी हामीले गरेको नयाँ काम भनेको त्यो हो। हामीले प्राकृतिक उत्पादन कसरी गर्छौँ भन्दा एउटा सहभागितात्मक गुणस्तर निर्धारण पद्धति PGS भन्ने एउटा हामीले एउटा समिति, उपसमिति, जो सहकारी संस्थाको उपसमिति हामीले खोलेका छौँ। त्यो उपसमितिमा सुरुको चरणमा हामीले 22 जना किसानहरू छनौट गरेका थियौँ। उहाँहरूको खेतबारीमा जे कुरा उत्पादन हुन्छ सबै कुरा अर्ग्यानिक हो। उहाँहरूले केमिकलयुक्त, रासायनिक विषादी, रासायनिक मलहरू के पनि प्रयोग गर्न पाउनुहुने थिएन। 22 जना किसानहरू पहिलो चरणमा हामीले छनौट गरेर त्यो सहकारीलाई खाद्यान्न र तरकारीजन्य उत्पादनहरू पुर्याइरहेका थियौँ। बाँकी पछि आएर तपाईँको 6-7 महिनाको पिरियड भयो। अहिले हामीले बाँकी 22 जना किसानहरू थप गरेर त्यो 950 जना विद्यार्थीहरूलाई खाना खुवाउने हामीले जिम्मा पाएका छौँ। यसरी कुल कारोबारमा यो हामीले गरेको संस्था कम्पनी होइन, हामी फाइदामूलक छैनौँ। हामीले जति पनि काम गर्छौँ सबैजना मिलेर गर्छौँ। जसले जति सामान दिनुहुन्छ त्यसको बजार रेटभन्दा धेरै राम्रो सोचेको मूल्य पाउनुहुनेछ उहाँले। त्यो पैसा हाम्रो कुनै कम्पनीमा जम्मा हुने छैन, हाम्रो कुनै सेयरहरू भन्ने पनि छैन त्यहाँ है। यसरी सेयरहरू नहुँदा जसले जति सामान दिनुहुन्थ्यो त्यो सामानले आफ्नो बजार रेट के छ, हामीले त्यो स्कुलसँग गरेको एग्रिमेन्टमा कुन सामान कति पैसाको छ भनेर प्रत्येक मन्थली रूपमा, प्रत्येक मासिक रूपमा उहाँहरूले पैसा पाउनुहुन्छ। यो हाम्रो कुनै कम्पनी होइन, हामी कुनै नेपाल सरकारलाई कर तिरेर पनि यो कारोबार सञ्चालन गरेका छैनौँ। विगत 2 वर्ष अगाडिको कुरामा हामीले पहिलो वर्ष 65 लाखको कारोबार गरेका थियौँ। दोस्रो वर्ष अहिले हामीले 95 लाखको कारोबार गऱ्यौँ। त्यो रिपोर्ट पनि मैसँग छ। जति पनि काम गर्छौँ हामीले साना किसान कृषि सहकारी संस्था लाटीकोइलीको खाता मार्फत हामीले काम गर्छौँ हैन। त्यो स्कुलमा चाहिने प्रत्येक सामानहरूको रेट के कति छ, उहाँहरूले किसानले आफूले कति सामान दिन सक्नुहुन्छ त्यही अनुसारको उहाँले पैसाको हिसाब किताब गरेर पाउने हो। मन्थली हुन्छ, कसले ठग्ने डर छैन, कसले ढाँटे भन्ने डर हुँदैन। सम्पूर्ण अतिथिज्यूहरूमा धन्यवाद दिँदै यो पुरस्कार प्रदान गर्दै हुने इजरायली एमसी आगामी दिनमा धेरै राम्रो काम गर्ने, अझ पनि प्रतिबद्धता जाहेर गर्ने बिदा हुन चाहन्छु। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, सलाम।
And since then, I consider myself as a friend of this country. Friendship between the two countries is something that is very unique and very special to both the governments and I think to peoples of the two countries. And we see a lot of them. I see a lot of Israelis here in Nepal, a lot of Nepalese in Israel, and it's really warming my heart. I was a member of the steering committee in charge of the program of earning and learning in Israel, and I have to say that there's a lot of competition, and many students from many countries would like to come to Israel, but we make sure to keep the share of Nepal, which is one of the major countries participating in this program, and this is because of the close and friendly relations between the two countries. And the Nepalese students and the Nepalese youngsters who come to Israel are considered really very good workers and people with a lot of motivation. And this is, I think, the most important element in this program. It is motivation. And I have to say that from our side, we're very happy to share knowledge, to share experience, and to share an approach, a different approach to agriculture, from substantive agriculture, from agriculture which is really just to survive, to becoming an agriculture which is a tool for development, for economic development. Israel is not rich in natural resources, but the solution for the Israeli development is the human resource. And I think Nepal and Israel share a very similar challenge. The human resource is the most important thing that we have. Agriculture is very important for Nepal, both, and we heard this before from the Secretary, both for the GDP, but more so for the people employed and active in the agricultural sector. But agriculture is an economic aspect, and it has to be looked as a business. You need technology, you need know-how, you need planning, you need investment, and actually you need to change perceptions, how you look at this sector. Technologies is very important. This is something that I'm doing in these days, how Israel can share its technologies, but more so is the human aspect, as I said before. So what we're focusing on in this program is actually the training and the capacity building and sharing of knowledge. But what we're talking about is actually you youngsters becoming entrepreneurs, bringing innovation and different approaches. And we have to look at the bottom line, which is for the farmer to make money, to earn a living, and to create actually a thriving economy. One more issue I wanted to refer to was the gender aspect, which was mentioned before, and I saw that also in the movies at the beginning. Women are very important for the economy, and I do support the approach and the efforts to increase the number of women coming to Israel for training, because this is critical. And I have to say, what we saw during our trek was a lot of women who are actually doing the businesses. In Israel, this is certainly a very important aspect of the Mashar program, is women entrepreneurs and the empowerment of women. Finally, just a short message to the youngsters and to the award-winning. What we hope and what we expect as Israel from you is to bring change to the sector and bring change to Nepal. Introduce new approaches, bring innovation, bring entrepreneurship, and by this contribute not only to your own benefit and to your own good, but really to the benefit and the good of Nepal as a country and the Nepalese people. Good luck and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind remarks. May I now request Mr. Tal Schwarzman, Deputy Chief of Mission, Embassy of Israel, to give closing remarks.
Thank you, Sanjana. I see the time, so distinguished guests, I'll do it quick and we will have some nice wine and dinner that I hope all of you will enjoy. So, respected chief guests, Dr. Yubak Dojo, GC, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, young entrepreneurs, dear colleagues. First of all, let me take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Dipendra Karkin one more time, winning Krishi Award for 2019. I hope you will keep up your good work and continue to share your knowledge with the future generations and fellow farmers in your community. I, on behalf of the organization of the Embassy of Israel in Kathmandu and Afsar Foundation, would like to express my gratitude to all of you present here today for the first National Level Krishi Award 2019, and I hope that it will be just the first and we will have many others annual awards from this event and forward. My sincere thankful to Chief Guest Dr. Yubak Doji GC, Secretary Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development, who is representing the Honorable Minister for your encouraging words. Likewise, a big thank you Dr. Vishnu Chapagan, agricultural expert and one of the award jury committee members for the unbiased opinion and helping the organizers to select the winner. Thank you. I am grateful to Dr. Anjan Shaker, dear friend of us, Nepali ambassador to Nepal, who is here to encourage young entrepreneurs, young, hungry entrepreneurs, and she was, like she mentioned, she was supposed to come a few days, and she especially attended to this event, so thank you. I would like also to acknowledge Mr. Shivram Prasad Koirala, CEO, Small Farmer Development Microfinance Financial Institute, for encouragement and support to the small farmers. Thank you. I would like also to thank Hotel Aloft Tama for the logistic arrangement and excellent service for providing for the event today. Last but not the least, I would like to acknowledge my team for Embassy and our partner for the event today, Avasar Foundation, for the great work. So thank you, Keshav, thank you, Samjana, thank you, Reshma, thank you, Rajendra, thank you for your great work. Without your support, the event today would not be possible. I hope you enjoyed the dinner. Thank you very much. This is the end of this event, and I hope, like I said before, we'll have many like this. So let's celebrate this event with some wine. Thank you very much. Thank you.